Hello everyone, let's look at the simple program to find the sum of squares of first n natural numbers using C# and for loop. This program starts with taking an input from user, which is n. If user inputs n equals to 3, then it calculates the sum of first 3 squared natural numbers, which is 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared, 1 plus 4 plus 9, which equals to 14. Now let's walk through this loop. For the loop, we have initialized sum equals to 0 at first, and in loop 1, our value of variable I would be equals to 1, and then it checks if I is less than or equals to n, which is 3, which is yes, then it goes into the loop, and it finds term where it calculates the square of I, which is 1 square. I've used typecasting of integer to convert the double type that math.power function gives us and then changes it into or converts it into an integer type. And then the next step it does is finds sum, which is equals to sum plus term. In our case 0, which was we initialized at first, plus 1 square, which it just calculated. Now loop 1 ends. At the end of the loop, it performs an action which is I equals to I plus 1. So our I in next loop would be I equals to 2. So in loop 2, we have I equals to 2. It checks if I is equal to less than or equal to 3. Yes, it goes into the loop. Term, again, it's like 2 square, which is I square. And then it calculates sum, which is equals to sum plus term. We already have 0 plus 1 square from loop 1, and it adds 2 square from this loop. Now loop ends. At the end of the loop, it performs an action I equals to I plus 1. So if for the loop 3, we have I equals to 3. It again checks if I is less than or equal to 3. Yes, goes into the loop. Term equals to I square, which is 3 square. And then sum equals to sum plus term, 0 plus 1 square plus 2 square. We got this from loop 1 and 2, plus 3 square from this loop. Now this loop ends, performs action I equals to I plus 1. For the loop 4, we have I equals to 4. It again checks if I is less than or equal to 3. No, then it comes out of the loop, which is loop ends. So when the loop ends, we have sum equals to 0 plus 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, which is equal to 14. Then we can print out that sum easily. Now that we know how our program functions, let's look at Visual Studio and check the output. So our first would be user input, and then this is a loop, and the final part is print the sum. So when we run this program, let's say we have a 3 like an example, then it prints out first 3 square natural number equals to 149, and sum of 3 terms of squared natural numbers equals to 14. Let's run it again, check for another number. Let's say user inputs n equals to 5, then first 5 squared natural numbers equals to 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and sum of 5 terms of squared natural numbers equals to 55.